Hello, everyone. Welcome to NDISCO'S Village Meeting Podcast. This is Series 3, Episode 17. How on a day? I hope everyone is doing great. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Today, we are going to talk a whole little less about the whole world, but ourselves. And to lead this discussion, I am your hostess, Dr. Marcellina Ndidi, M.OPARAOJI. Welcome. So, you and I have been on airplanes, so some of you who have not been, that's what happens. When you get on there, one of the things they tell you is put your seatbelt on. And if you have anybody that you are with that is really, that needs help, whether it's an old person or a young person, that really needs help to put their seatbelts on, you're going to help them. But what you're going to do is to help yourself first. Put on that seatbelt, secure yourself before you can secure somebody else. And that's a reason for that. And the reason is that, in my understanding, is that if any mishap would occur, um, because you're secured, you can help somebody else get secured. But if you are not, and the other person is not, both of you could be flying in the air or hitting the roof, at the same time. And so both people could be lost. So our topic today will mimic that in the sense that uh, we are saying, think about numero uno, yourself. And I have chosen just a particular gender. And don't kill me for that because I can't talk about everybody at the same time. But most of the time when I talk about one entity, it's really concerns everybody else. So you can borrow from that, you can learn from that, but I'm not singling anybody out. It's not the purpose. But I feel that there are some aspects, um, genders that I want to talk to directly, I want to address. So having said that, let's get into what we are trying to say today. Um, One of the things I like to talk about for our women, um, fellow women, to see what they can do to get themselves going. Because I always hear this, dictum that you cannot pour from an empty. So you cannot pour from an empty can or empty something. So that's for human. So I'm saying to each woman out there, pamper yourself. So I'm asking it that way, woman, pamper thyself. Why? For you cannot give to others what you do not have. So inside, if you're empty. So this episode here will get us to talk a little bit about that. I don't have every answer, but I have been able to put together about 20 low-cost ideas to help you pamper yourself or help us pamper ourselves. Some of these I have practiced myself. I do on a routine basis. And I don't know, but it keeps me going. I like what it does for me. And maybe there are some that that you could share that I've omitted on YouTube when you make comments on my YouTube aspects and when you subscribe. Let's get into this. And again, I'm calling before we go in, ladies, women. Next up. So, what is pampering to start with? Pampering yourself means being intentional about relaxation and using all the resources available. And some of them you already have in your kitchen, in your cupboards, in your bedrooms and all that. And you don't even have to have material things. You just have to have yourself. It does not have to be expensive. So let's get into it. When some of you um, have talked about, to me, by way of conversation, you are exhausted, you are tired, you get too many things on your plate. You got everybody calling on you for one thing or the other. They're asking you to do A, B, C, D, and you can't even say no because they don't know how to do it. You are the only one that can do it, even at work. People just prey on your niceness or your kindness and they pile it on you. And some people have dropped dead out of exhaustion of doing too much. And it's not pleasant to hear that. And a lot of people get sick also from such overdue and not finding the time for themselves to just stop and get the energy back and rejuvenate before going. So it's important that we look into that because when you are not there, you're not there. And again, some of the things you want to do will either not be done or somebody else will pick up. So some of these I have listed here. Number one, the shower is already, you take a bath every day and all that. So make it longer. Soak yourself in bath. There are cheap salts out there that you can sprinkle in or expensive salts that you can buy. And sit in that, bath for longer. Don't turn into prunes or anything, but give yourself that rest. Take a longer shower, warm, cold, whatever makes you take, and recollect. This is actually where you find yourself thinking and hear yourself thinking. And when I say you close your door, is because you may be in a situation where there are other people around, the same people you want to like stay away from a little bit. And, or noises, or you live in where it's a lot of background. You go in there, or where you have little children who are always around you. You won't even go to the bathroom without anybody coming in. So you get somebody to stay with them, 15 minutes stops. Get in there, lock the door. Either you put your music or something and chillax, what we call it. You chill and you relax. That's what chillax is. You just relax for that. Number two is do your own DIY face mask. Do it yourself face mask. Again, this for those of you who like facial, and the facial is good because you have to get off dead skins off of your face and all that, and all the dirt. So you don't even have to go buy those expensive uh, materials out there or items out there. They have honey. Some people mix this up, yogurt, oats, what you have, and make sure it's good. You can have a friend who you both do this to each other at the same time or once in a while and give each other facial. That is done. How about the third one? At home, you can give yourself manicure, pedicure. You can soak yourself in little bathtub or even big bathtub or anything. Soak your fingers and you don't even have to buy things to use. Use whatever is already in you already own some of these things. Skin hydration. One of the things we have to pride ourselves in is soft skin and one that is not scaly. So hydrate your skin. And it doesn't have to be all these expensive things advertised that you have to pay hundreds of dollars to do. And I along with some other people, we swear by Vaseline, really. It doesn't not only have sunscreen to it, it also conceal any dryness on your skin. And I'm not saying everybody likes to do that. Do whatever makes you happy, but if you have money to buy expensive one, go ahead. But apply when you do, apply those slowly, whether you Vaseline, whether it's even cannel oil that has been renowned to be really very beneficial to the skin. You apply it slowly, mindfully, religiously, if you might, to all areas of your body, especially the dry regions, and repeatedly, and you will see the difference. How about scalp massage? When you go to the salon and when you spend all those big money, they give you this massage as part of your treatment, which you can, while you do number one, the long shower or bath, like we show on our number one on the list here. You can give yourself that scalp massage with your fingers or with some brush, gently and all that. It's a deep hair wash which rejuvenates your or brings alive your the skin of your head and make the blood flow better. How about candlelight relaxation? Again, we see us entertaining others. How come you can't entertain yourself? Those scented candles can now be brought out. Okay, it helps you shift the mood. Dim the lights. Just let the candles flow. It doesn't have to be during festive period. It could be any time. You are by yourself on a weekend. Hey, entertain yourself. This is your time for yourself. And you can do it for the family, but you can still do it for yourself. That's how you pamper you. How about intermittent digital detox? Detox means you stayed away from it. So digital, whether it's social media or turning off your phone for a few times, a few hours in a day, do that. Because I know everybody wants your time, everybody wants you. And I don't know if you have been in any situation where you want to enjoy something, even meal, and the phone rings. You got to look at it because it may be important. But at that time, if you made it your meal time or whatever time that you wanted to turn the phone off, whatever is, unless it's death or dying, they could wait. Okay. Um, Nature walk. I have added walking a whole lot. I talked about it on my episodes, and my on my podcast and otherwise. And I have also shared, and some of you have seen my pictures when I'm walking. It's really liberating. It gives you the time to really exhale. Whether you walk with your friend or with a group, or you walk by yourself, take that walk. Whether in the neighborhood, in the park, and on the treadmill, whichever one works for you. But when you do that, also stop once in a while, smell the flowers, admire the butterflies, the ants, even that are crawling on the floor. You find things. I don't know how many of you have walked through the same street and saw something different each time. Listen to the birds chirping, and you see. I was walking, yesterday mid morning, and the sun was coming out, and my heart was filled with joy just watching the sun, and I didn't even know when I started like becoming grateful for God giving us life. It's not because I'm getting more than everybody else or there is something extraordinary. It's just the feeling of gratitude of you can even get up and walk around, and then there is this opportunity to work. So do that. And it not only tones your body and straightens your muscles and all that, and all about you. It gives you your blood going and your mind and your brain clear. Really. Number nine, one of my favorites, dance. Never stop dancing. Okay, music. Especially when you like all genres, like I do, you know, dance. And when you turn on that's your favorite dance, whether you're dancing in your living room or in your bedroom or outside, dance like nobody is watching. Doesn't matter whether you know how to dance or don't know how to dance. The adrenaline, the dopamine, mimetic aspect or pathway gets opened up, and you find the joy coming, not even thinking of what is doing to your body, toning and all that stuff. And sometimes you get carried away singing to the music, which is great. So do that. It's part of pampering yourself. It's just for you. Okay. How about watching a movie? And I've shared also that you guys know a lot about me now. I love foreign movies. So uh, I, I listen to, I watch Turkish movies, Spanish movies, French. And funny thing is that sometimes I have found myself watching movies just going by the imagination, what I think, not understanding the language, the imagination of what is being said, just to turn on the closed caption in English to find out what I was thinking was what was going on is different from what actually was going on. But guess what? It helps me also learn the language, one word at a time as I went. But watch a movie and it relaxes you. And especially when you watched one in the past that really made you your day, go back to it from time to time, even if it's 15 minutes of each time you have time to do that. Number 11, celebrate your health. This is a privilege that is not given to everyone. Um, if you're healthy, in fact, you are wealthy. The richest person is the healthiest person or is a healthy person. Because without health, you cannot do anything else. So your life, your moment, and all that should be celebrated when you are healthy enough to get out of bed and you walk around, or you don't, you're not hissing in pain, or limping or anything else. You are just going. That's the best gift. So with that, you can then plan to eat healthy. All those fruits and vegetables, are there. And that's actually some part of the cheapest food out there nowadays. Red meat, some of us run away from that, but if you love red meat, please eat what you like. But be cognizant of your health. Um, Again, there's a whole lot of things out there to make you whole. Sleep deeply. Many people talk about number of hours. It doesn't matter how many, but it's how deeply you slept and refreshingly you wake up. That's part of that. Exercise again, no matter what. If you're a runner, run. If you're a jumper, jump. Whatever makes you think and makes your blood pump every day and your heart pump, please do that. And for continuity, do go for your annual checkup. Again, we spend money where we don't have to spend, but when it comes to keeping ourselves going, we try to minimize the effort. We shouldn't. Whether you're a man or a woman, all these pertain to you as well. You may not do the ones that are women like as a man, but there are certain things there that you can do on this list to keep you going. Number 12, people, I think many people have talked about it. Making your bed each day has a benefit to it. And while you are making it, you find out that maybe your your bed sheets or pillowcases that have been soaked in sweat before are no longer smelling that nicely, and you take them out. And there is nothing as refreshing as fresh sheets. You put a clean sheet on your bed and your pillow, and coming back to your clean sheet at the end of the day, it's heavenly. So that's part of pampering yourself. Change or even get the luxury kind if you can, to put on your bed. Number 13 talks about our quiet moments. We have a lot of noises around us, human noises, machinery noises, air noises, and everything coming at you at the same time. Once in a while and frequently, it's recommended that we go into quiet moments, quiet corner where you shut off every noise, where you sit in silence with your eyes closed. And in that case, you are only hearing your own heartbeat. Some people call it meditation. You're going into your being of how you came out from your mother's womb into this world when the noise hit you the first time. Um, Maybe the noise you heard from when you were in from the outside wasn't as loud as you now hear it. You can even take a nap while doing that, that quiet moment without feeling guilty. Some people take power naps, 15 minutes, that. There is benefit to that. There are some countries who close everything down for nap time. It is good. It prolongs life, and you see these people living longer than anybody else. 14 says we should read a book, and I recommend that. And I also have shared that sometimes I have two or three books open at the same time. It's not because I read more than everybody else. No, it's because I could be, I could read mystery 15 minutes and then a biography next one, and then a romantic one in the next. It's a question of mixture of interests. Okay, read a book, escape into either the physical book or the electronic book or magazine. Some of us still like the physical book. The turning off the page and that musical aspect to it still gets me. The smell of book, the real physical book still gets me. But that's me. But some other people still like electronic book. Nowadays you have listening book audio books. And I don't shy away from any of these, but do you get what you like? But that's part of pampering yourself because you're doing it solo by yourself. And even if you're reading to the children, also, that's part of making them understand that that's a relaxation time. Do stretches, yoga, Pilates, if you like, Tai Chi, all those things that you can do. This help you relieve tension. And um, don't talk about the money aspect because there are free ones on TV and YouTube. Nowadays, some things are so free out there and people are ready to show you DIY of them all. So take advantage. Um, Journaling to share your gratitude. Some of us are into asking, asking, asking. We never take the moment to count our blessings. What do you have that you don't even deserve, but yet it's in your bucket? It's on your table. It's in your hand, or they are in your hand. So people write them down. That's journaling. Some people say it out. That's the gratitude. So daily or periodically, some people write down more than 3 times a day. Some people wait to the end of the day. Some people wait to the end of the month or end of the week to periodically write down their thoughts. What is it that I'm doing? Who am I? Why am I here? What is it that I need to do? What is? And these are the 5 things that I'm grateful for, 10 things or 2 things, and include things that you anticipate to do, your planning. What have you accomplished? What did you want to accomplish that you couldn't accomplish and why? All these are the moment that you are bringing yourself together, pampering yourself by also thinking outside the box. What pampering yourself include mental pampering. And we forget that because we think everything is physical. No, without the mental being, you know, um, at rest, the rest of the aspect is really not going to be functioning well. So give yourself this positive affirmation. You hear me say, come with me to my positive vibes and all that. Um, it's not because you may have the best of everything in the world. No, but you could get yourself into that aspect. Remember what you said that majority of the things, I forgot this percentage, that happen to you um, get to you, not because they have an access to do that, they could, but it's how you react to those things. How do you carry them? So, all of us, nobody is without challenges, difficulties that come to them. That is part of living, that is part of life. But how much of it did you allow to get to you? Those are the noises I talk about, that you leave the noises to the side and focus and move forward. Is because you are taking whatever positive vibe you have to counter the negatives that are coming at you. And while you are alive and a human being, they will come. But what do you make out of it? And we always hear when God gives you, or anybody, or whatever being gives you a lemon, make lemonade out of it if you can. That's just life. Number 18 says, learn to say no. See, this is the most difficult thing for many to do, including myself, because you are used to helping people, you helping out, and forgetting yourself, in the mainstream. But it's time now, and I've learned that as I grow older, and you've done so much, you've been there, done that, that at this point, whatever society is expecting of you, that's their own problem, not yours anymore. Whatever people around you are expecting from you, you've done that. It shouldn't be expected any longer that much. It doesn't mean you will let go of everything you know to do or you have been doing, but to an extent, you are tired. So protect your own energy. Even if you have little ones, even if you have big ones, there are times when you got to say no. So set boundaries, push away those extra tasks that can wait for the next moment, for the next. It's not procrastination, it's you got to divide things to fall into part because you cannot do it, all by yourself all the time. So be you, do you. And the reason why I say this all the time is because you could be trying to be somebody else and it's exhausting. You could be trying to compete with somebody else or emulate somebody else and not be you. It's exhausting that at the end, you did not achieve yourself, you did not achieve this other person. You hang in the limbo. So avoid and stop dancing to other people's tunes. The world wants to control you. They want to tell you what to do, and that's what society does. They're doing their job. But you, are you dancing to those tunes, those expectations? Yeah, if it benefits you and them. But if on the long run, believe me, everybody who wants you to do something or anything, there is a benefit for them. Why him? What is in it for me? WIFM. But if it is for you, give, and nothing for you to breathe so you can do again, just say no. Yeah, you could be gossiped about, talked about, talked down. But you know what? That is the side noise that I asked you to ignore. Let it go. Move forward. Do what you can. Be kind. Be good to yourself and to everybody else. Number 19, smile. We've been given really that free feature to open those lips and shine our God given teeth. And when it's really funny, to go into the deepest part of our belly and cough up that laughter. That is the noise part of smiling, where you really let the noise out and laugh from your heart, even at silly things. Laugh at yourself. We make mistakes, you crack up. When really you want to laugh, like I do sometimes, go to comment sections of funny things or watch these comedies or comedians at work. You really crack yourself. I laugh sometimes at people on the road or some people there are like, are you okay? I am okay. I'm just finding something's funny. So I smile and I laugh. And I encourage everybody to do that. Once in a while. It takes the blues or whatever away. You're not some people think when you do that, you are faking something or you're not being your true self. You cannot, if you are not somebody who can smile or laugh like that, you can't do it quite often because then you get tired. It gets lost. So just be you. Don't listen to anybody. Last but not the least, number 20, create moments with your divine inner self. What does that mean? We spend time each time, every day, doing so many things and all that, that we never have time to just sit and be grateful. Come into our inner self, talk to our inner self. You can talk yourself into things, good or bad. So you might as well sit at a place while you're talking to yourself, you will see the answers coming back to you. Okay. You are reflecting. You are also talking to that you believe in. We always have three things: something we believe in, somebody we believe in, and ourselves we believe in. So that's something that you never see that you believe in. Sometimes you got to talk to them in reflection. And some people will call it prayer. But it's always good to come, talk to yourself. Yes, we can do it collectively, which we do also by way of mass, by way of community prayer, by way of family prayer and all that. But sometimes you got to go into your inner self. It doesn't have to be repetition of anything, but listen to your own heart, talk to yourself. And at the end, that is what it should be. A question of doing what you do best, pampering yourself. Okay? So, fellow women, what I want you to do is at the end of this, ask yourself, am I pampering myself enough? Do I have it in myself to give to others help? Because if you don't have it, you cannot give. Okay? So it's a question of being able to give what you have. But when you don't have it, you cannot function on empty. So at this juncture, I'm assuring you there are so many other ways to really pamper yourselves. I only gave you 20 aspects of that. Some people do by swimming, some people do by just sitting by the water side with their feet in the pool or in the water. My background is showing you, a flowing ocean or sea with coconut stuff. People will just look at that and just sit by it and just look at the universe. And that's fulfilling and relaxing enough. Do what makes you happy. Because if you're not happy, you can make anybody else happy. If you're not smiling, you can make somebody else smile. If you're not laughing, everybody around you will be sad. So, for the sake of the universe, go have fun. And this is where I call it a day. And thank you for listening to this session. And this is your hostess, Dr. Marcellina M.OPARAOJI, saying sayonara and keep having fun. Life is too short. Believe me.